day. We dey wait for you to come our way. Simon Ekpa, you dey fight like lion, keeping Biafra safe from Zion. Oh mama Biafra, your children they cry. Finland free our prime minister, we no go lie. Our enemy they try to annihilate. Free am now before it's too late. Freedom no be small something. Now waiting we dey demand without fronting. Biafra land we want am strong. We Simon Ekpa, we go march along. From the east to the west we dey shout, Mama Biafra, yeah, I'll call no doubt. Enemies close, but we stand up tall. Together we rise, we no go follow. Oh Mama Biafra, your children they cry. Finland free our prime minister, we no go lie. Our enemy they try to annihilate. Free am now before it's too late. In unity we go dey strive, fight for freedom we go alive. With courage and strength we dey fight. Mama Biafra, our guiding light. Your children they cry. Finland free our prime minister, we no go lie. Our enemy they try to annihilate. Free am now before it's too late. Freedom no be small something. Now waiting we dey demand without fronting. Biafra land we want them strong. Simon Ekpa, we go march along. From the east to the west we dey shout, Mama Biafra, yeah, I call no doubt. Enemies close but we stand tall. Together we rise, we no go fall.
Every time Nigeria is ringing bell. If I look on news, it is bell. If I look social media, it is problem. When I should be drinking coffee, they will make me to come online. They don't want to have me to rest. But you know what? You know what? The spirit in me, the Biafra spirit in me, I said, when I told you, if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is looking for 100 people, I promise that I have 50 in me. You have not seen anything. It is not by my power. It is not by my power. It is not by my power, but you know, as an eke or my own oru, I am a rocha ike. You understand? Till Biafra come. But today you are going to receive sense. The crypto, Nigeria crypto. As they are crippling your economy, they close border. They closed the border. ESN came out automatically, you know, weaponized. It shocked them. It shocked them. They said, this border no work. Oh. This close of border no work. Oh. Now, how do we stop the funding now of this Sunday or Igbo? How do we stop the contribution? Let us stop the crypto. Because they were following Nigerians, southern Nigerians. Use crypto. We should open crypto. Open crypto. Crypto. We use crypto. Don't use the Western Union. Don't use this. They say, so these people are doing crypto. Okay. Let us slash them. Bah! They are not considering the economic impact of crypto. No. They are not considering how much the crypto is bringing to Nigeria economy. Their agenda is not to make Nigeria progress. No. They have a better agenda. Now you get the point. Now you get the point. My only problem is that why is it that you must wait? Thomas. Was Thomas born in Nigeria? Is Thomas a Nigerian? Is Thomas in the Bible in Nigeria? Are you a lineage of Thomas? Are you a lineage of Thomas? All of you have Thomas blood in your vein. How did you get Thomas blood in your vein? That it must happen to you first before you understand. We hear more in Anubia. You hear more kind of man. Woo! When we are telling you, you don't know, we are telling you, even we are not prophets, but everything we have said, everything we open this mouth to say, if it don't happen today, it will happen tomorrow. I want you to go from the beginning of this struggle, from the beginning. In fact, even the one that we are not sure of, once God asks us to say it, we will say it and God will do it. Hey! Woo! I said, did you see the prayer? May God harden the heart of the leaders in Nigeria so that we will tell them, the world may know that Obi is no longer a boy. I remember when we used to read the history of the Greeks, the Greek gods. I don't know, of course you don't read all those things in Africa. The history of the Greek gods. Medusas.
Na-eme n'ụbọchị nketa obodo ekwensu bụ zoo Nigeria. Lekwa Nigeria ma dọsa ya Chineke nna dị ngosi. Onye ọbụla na-ekpe ekpere ka Nigeria wee wuru ofu nna nke ebere jide ndị dị etu a wee laa ha n'iyi. Chineke nna kiwe biko bịa kiwe kpọọ ha ọkụ. Kpọọ ha ọkụ kpọọ ezinụlọ ha ọkụ. Ka ha ra agbanyeghị ndị ha bụ ọbụladị ndị ụkọchukwu onye ọbụla mehụrụ ọnụ ma kulie wee sị na ọ ga-adịrị Nigeria na mma, ọ ga-adịrị onye ahụ na mma na ezinụlọ na mma site gosi wee na-eme n'ụbọchị nketa obodo ekwensu bụ zoo Nigeria. Lekwa Nigeria ma dọsa ya Chineke nna dị ngosi. Onye ọbụla na-ekpe ekpere ka Nigeria wee wuru ofu nna nke ebere jide ndị dị etu a wee laa ha n'iyi. Chineke nna kiwe biko bịa kiwe kpọọ ha ọkụ. Kpọọ ha ọkụ kpọọ ezinụlọ ha ọkụ. Ka ha ra agbanyeghị ndị ha bụ ọbụladị ndị ụkọchukwu onye ọbụla mehụrụ ọnụ ma kulie wee sị na ọ ga-adịrị Nigeria na mma, ọ ga.
Welcome, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world. I welcome you to this amazing program. Please like and share this program to all platforms. Share to family and friends. Share to everyone to join us in this evening program to get this information that is coming. The United States of Biafra has been declared, and what we are to do today is to defend and protect Biafra land. If you are from the old southeastern region, you casted a vote on self-referendum, and we got up to more than 50 million people. And from that very mandate that was given, Biafra was declared. If you have walked away from that mandate and you are today supporting evil, your days are numbered. Your days are numbered. If you are still listening to the enemies, even when we are at a point in time where the ultimate thing that you have to do is freedom, your days are numbered. Wherever you are and you're watching this program, I want you to like and share this program so that others will come and get this information. We are supposed to embark on nation building. After the declaration of Biafra, the next thing that follows is nation building. We have to build our economy, we have to build our defense, and we have to build everything that is on the side of the Biafran people. Wherever you are, the moment has come. This moment, every one of us must put our hands on deck to protect and defend the United States of Biafra. It does not matter what you say. It doesn't matter what you hear. It doesn't matter which angle you are coming from. Every one of us must put our hand together to support the United States of Biafra. As always, I am going to share with you a previous program that we have held, and so many of you missed that program. I want you to pay attention to hear about the nation building of Biafra, to get information that will help you to pursue the recognition and full restoration of Biafra and support the United States of Biafra under Dr. Ngozi Oreboweze, the Deputy Prime Minister. Thank you for watching, and let us go ahead. Share the program, share this program, share to all platforms. Make sure you invite somebody to join us. Very, very important. Let's watch. And just like Mazin Nandekano said, that he can never declare until we have the mandate from the people. But in his own speech, he said, I will not tell you how that mandate will come until when that time is right. Question we are asked many times in many platforms. Many times Mazin Nandekano come to broadcast, they will tell him, declare Biafra, declare Biafra. Mazin Nandekano said, I will not declare Biafra until I have the mandate from the people. But I will not tell you how the mandate will come. And before our very own eyes, the time came for that declaration to be done. Mazin Nandekano introduced the new mandate for all of us. New dimension. He spoke about the new dimension to every one of us, and we heard him. Some of us understood him. Some of us did not understand what he meant. But Mazi Simon Ekpa came on board and interpreted that mandate clearer than ever. And today, there's no Biafran today that he say that he or she does not know what the new dimension stands for. In that very new dimension, our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa established the self-referendum, which will guarantee the safety and security of Biafra, which will give Biafra the right for the declaration we have been waiting for. In that very voting, every one of us came together and we gathered to vote for the self-referendum of the Biafran people. When that vote was casted, so many of us casted our vote. Many of us casted our vote. But there's one worrisome thing that happened. After we have casted our votes, vote casted and counted, we were able to get more than 50 million Biafrans who said that they want to get out of this Volunteer Republic by all means necessary. These people came together and they gave the mandate. They gave the mandate, which Mazin Nandekano spoke about, to our Prime Minister, Mazin Simon Ekpa Njoko. Our Prime Minister, Mazin Simon Ekpa, stood on that mandate.
And on that mandate, our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, stood and told us that Biafra will be declared. After the declaration, when Mazi Simon was taken away, some people all of a sudden began to turn against the agreements that every one of us signed. And I asked them, why are you going against it? Some of them said we should return back. Are you now telling us that the self-referendum that every one of us participated in is no longer effective? Are you now telling us that people have wasted their time, more than 1,000 people traveling to Finland to declare Biafra? More than 50 million people that gave their mandate for the declaration. Are you not telling me that they are stupid? I can't understand that. And for record purposes, I want to show you, maybe some of us have forgotten, the self-referendum form that we read and vote. I want to bring it on the screen for us to go through it once again. So when you begin to listen to some people, you can know what to ask them. And you ask yourself, where are these people coming from? I want to bring up the very form we used in that self-referendum. You can see the form. This is the form we used to vote for the self-referendum. Those of you who are watching me from YouTube, you can see the form. This was the form that more than 50 million people used to vote for the self-referendum. And I'm going to read the content of the form. The form says, do you approve this proposed declaration of restoration of independent state of Biafra to re-establish of lost sovereign nation of Biafra from Nigeria, which will be called the United States of Biafra? And then you will vote either yes or no. This was exactly what every one of us read before we voted. And sometimes I'm asking myself, these people that are fighting against the United States of Biafra today, that's telling us to go back, were they part of the people that casted this vote? Or maybe they were somewhere watching us? Were they part of this vote, or they were somewhere? Look at the content of the vote that we casted, the vote that generated more than 50 million people that gave their mandate to the government of the United States of Biafra that is today under the control and leadership of our Dr. Ngozi Robeze. This is what you voted for. Do you approve this proposed declaration of restoration of the independent state of Biafra to re-establish of lost sovereign nation of Biafra from Nigeria, which will be called the United States of Biafra, USB? Question. And the section for the voting is here. You either say yes or no. And more than 50 million people said yes. Now ask me, tell me, why will anybody in this world will stand and begin to talk against the United States of Biafra? Why will any Biafran, any genuine Biafran, be listening to somebody who is fighting against this oath that we all took? Why will anybody be going against it? This is the vote. In case, I hope you can see it clearly. This is the vote. You vote either yes or no. If you're watching me on YouTube, you can read it by yourself. I enlarge it so you can read for yourself. Do you approve this proposed declaration of restoration of independent state of Biafra to re-establish of lost sovereign nation of Biafra from Nigeria, which will be called the United States of Biafra? And every one of us voted yes. More than 50 million people. But today, what do you see? Today, the people that claim to be Biafrans who voted and generated that number of votes, what are they doing? question. And then now it takes me to the topic of today that we are going to handle. The topic of today says, let's make nation building a people's movement. United States of Biafra is the way to go. We move. Let's make nation building people's movement. United States of Biafra is the way to go. We move. We are going to talk on nation building. Which nation are we talking about? The United States of Biafra. What we are supposed to be focusing today is on how to build this nation, United States of Biafra. That should be our worry. Nation building. Nation building or development of a nation, especially one that has recently become independent. That is nation building. Nation building. The creation or development of a nation, especially one that has recently become independent. Simple meaning of nation building, when you talk about nation, that's what it means. To create and develop a nation, especially one that has recently become independent. The United States of Biafra has gained their independence. And the only thing and the right thing for us to do today is to put our hands together, build our nation, do everything humanly possible to support our nation, do everything we can to see that our nation is built. My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are watching from, wherever you are listening from, it is high time we come together and do the needful. Support the restoration of Biafra. Support the United States of Biafra the best way you can. Most importantly, financially, because we have so many responsibilities. And I'm going to read another piece before I will allow my beloved brother Maxwell to join us and make his contribution. There is a piece that I saw here that I want to also read to enlighten us about this issue of nation building and what it entails. The nation, United States of Biafra, is where our focus should be. And the article I saw reads, since the end of the Cold War, the United States, NATO, the United Nations, and a range of other states and non-governmental organizations have become increasingly involved in nation building operations. Nation building involves use of armed forces as part of a border effect to promote political and economical reform with the objective of transforming a society emerging from conflict into one at peace with itself and its neighbors. In our nation building, it involves empowering our armed forces. It involves building our economy. It involves creating peace between us and our neighbors. These informations are important because of the kind of mindset I see and the kind of contribution people make when we are conducting question and answers. Some of us think that this nation building we are talking about today is to fight against a religion or fight against a tribe. No, it is not. It is not to create chaos. It is not to fight against any religion. It is to build our nation, to protect our boundaries, and have a stable place where we can live at peace with our neighbors, regardless who they are. My fellow Biafrans, time has come for us to talk about nation building, because while we are seeking for recognition, the whole world is watching. They are looking at us to see where we are going and what we have to offer. For you to be recognized As a nation among the nations of the world, there are certain criteria you must meet. Some of us tend to forget that we cannot be an island as the United States of Biafra. We won't be an island. We still have to do business with other parts of the world. That is why the United States of Biafra today is following all international treaty. They have signed up to it. My question is, those who are fighting against the United States of Biafra, those of them who are fighting the United States of Biafra, and they say they wouldn't have it, where were they when we were taking this vote? Were they part of the people that voted when we were voting? Ask them this question when you meet them next time in any conversation. My beloved brother Maxwell, you're welcome. Please go ahead and talk to us, my brother Maxwell, on today's morning program.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mazi Chooks. Good morning to you, and good morning to every one of us in the comment section. Those in the Biafra land, Biafrans right across the world. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, good morning to you. Mazi Simon Ekpa, good morning to you. I believe that the grace of God is steadily upon you people, and they will cause the enemy to humble in your own case. Chukwukikabiama will definitely cause the enemies that are holding the two great sons of Biafra land to humble. They will be humiliated soon in the name of Chukwukikabiama. I am here today. Yesterday, my network was giving me serious problem because it was raining outside. If you see the kind of flood that besieged Accra, it's not easy. Flooding everywhere, destruction everywhere, heavy storm, billboards falling, collapsing on cars and people. It's just horrible, just horrible. But glory be to God that his children were also saved. Not that we are better or more righteous than those that had issues with the storm. It's a lot of nature when it comes. Then the only thing is that God will always make a way for his people. You see, that was what I signed the day I voted. Like I always say, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu announced, Mazi Simon Ekpa Prime Minister announced it. If care is not taken, I am among, I think, among the 50 people that signed, and those that voted as well, when the voting was also going on. I do not know the reason why, when our people read through all these things, this is exactly what I saw the day I made my referendum vote. How will I now, after voting, then I will go back? On what platform did we vote? We voted based on Biafran Republic government in exile. And immediately this voting and referendum, people, Biafrans, agreed that we would do so and so thing in Finland. A date for the, it's just like when John the Baptist was preaching about the coming of Christ. He said, I am baptizing you with water and holy, but the man that is coming after me will be baptizing you with fire and Holy Spirit. And when that man came, he was professing about him. What happened? The children of God followed him. There is no time I heard in the Bible that John the Baptist started asking those people to go back to him. I didn't say that. I said what happened, the processes that brought us to the liberation, the declaration of Biafra was a shadow. They were just shadows of the United States of Biafra event. And when you finish that, you now went back and start calling people, oh, come, let's go back to Egypt. You are in Israel or on your way to Israel, the promised land. You are not telling people because of your own insatiable demand for power and authority, position. You want to be recognized. You threw away all the things that you agreed upon. Are you moving forward or you are going backwards? Why can't this our people reason? They went to school. They know how to read and write. They know how to do ntapia, but they lack the knowledge to understand what they are reading. Were we not autopilot? Were we not Biafran Republic government in exile? On the 29th November 2024, Biafra was redeclared. How will you now leave the declared nation that what now go back to Biafran Republic government in exile? What do you supposed to do? That is where the building of a nation starts. You begin to fight going forward, recognition of the declared nation. Meeting people, organization, world organization that will recognize that Biafra. Putting petitions where necessary. Is that not what you're supposed to be doing? You are dragging us back. After all this, well, I don't go there. I don't speak to them. Sometimes I go, when I look at the one or two people that are there, I say I will not go. Even I saw my Namoche, Starman, they have refused to give Starman mic to speak to them. To tell you how it is. They starve Starman, from their mic. Because they know what Starman will tell them there. These are the people that we are fighting. The same thing that happened to Nnamdi Kanu. And coming to the same people, the same group of people, they are here with us. As the chooks, we cannot wish them away. They are there with us, front and back. But what will make us prevail upon them is the truth and persistence and consistency. That is what is going to make us better than them and prevail. We can't wish them away. It's like they are our shadow. They are part of us. They are Biafrans. They are like our shadow. We can't wish them away. But let them continue to do what they are doing. Like the proverb, when the masters come, then the master will pick the grain from the wheat. That is the only thing I will say, because we cannot, the way the devil has channeled the mindset of these people, they are not ready to come back. Even if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or Simon Ekpa Prime Minister is out today to meet us, I don't think that these people, they will be like the DOS. And like I told you people some time ago, they will fizzle out just like those that came before them. So you do not trouble yourself or get yourself worked up because of these people. They will fizzle out one day, because God knows that what they are doing is not in line. It's not in tandem with the document and agreement that you signed on the day of that declaration. I hope that our people will understand. Right now, what we are doing, what we're supposed to do is to build a nation. A nation must have people in it. A nation must have their own territory. A nation must have so many things before then you now come to defense. Tax is one of the elements of nation building. That is what we're supposed to be doing today. That tax in our own situation, those tax and those contributions are things that are going to help us to fulfill. Because running a government is not a one-man business. It's the collectiveness of the Biafran people. Our contributions, whether you give it anonymously or in person, please try as much as you can, no matter how small it is. It is going to help us start the nation. Whereas Dr. Ngozi Orabeze, her cabinet members are there making all the moves and putting the Biafran government, the United States of Biafra, in the world view, the world map, in the discussion, in the mouth of everybody that needs to be, talked to. We must also support them in any way that we can. I thank you so much for having me this morning.
Thank you so much, my beloved brother Maxwell. I appreciate you for that wonderful contribution. You have spoken well, and you just mentioned it. One of the major things we have to look upon for our young nation, when you talk about nation building, it is tax. Task. Every funding that you need to produce for your nation to be built, do not hesitate to do so. Whatever responsibility that you have, in any way, in any manner, no matter how little, do not hold it back. Let's make nation building a people's movement. Let us make it a people's movement, nation building. That is supposed to be our focus. After taking this oath, let us not betray ourselves. More than 50 million people read this very word. After reading this, do you approve this proposed declaration of restoration of the independent state of Biafra to re-establish of lost sovereign nation of Biafra from Nigeria, which will be called the United States of Biafra? And you said yes. Even if you said no, the number of people that said yes, we are more than 50 million. There is no way you will take this oath. Say yes. You gave the mandate to the United States of Biafra that we see today. You gave the mandate. It wasn't forced on you. This was a mandate that Mazin Nanekano talks about. And he said that before I will declare, I will have the mandate. This is that mandate. More than 50 million people gave that mandate and it was declared. Today, what we are supposed to be talking about is nation building. How are we going to build this non-nation and make it stronger than ever? One of the way is by tax. Whatever tax that has been put in place, whatever financial support you can give, whatever task that you know you can carry out, do not hesitate. Start immediately. Let's make nation building a people's movement. Yeah, welcome, my beloved brother Christian. Go ahead, my brother Christian. Let's hear from you. Speak to us.
Juice. Good afternoon or good morning. It's still morning. I mean, and Brad Max is also there.
Yes, Brad.
Yes, sir. Good morning,
okay.
Sir.
Morning, brother. God bless you. Yeah, Brad Juice, thank you so much for your work. And so you're on nation building topics, I suppose, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, it's very important. Absolutely important. You know, even though the distractions and everything, but yeah, we have to keep marching on, and hopefully soon, rather than later, everything will come to fruition, you know. So that is yeah, but it's also, it's not an easy task. So let nobody get that illusion. It's just not because it's a serious headwind ahead. You know, the politicians who are also Igbos, even though they are, yeah, one can describe them as illegitimate because they are not supported, they are not backed by the people, but at the same time, they are hell bent on doing what they want to do. You know, so yeah, it's a serious issue. You can't ignore that, you know, because they are the ones spearheading all the everything that is going on. They were put there by the caliphate, and they are really doing the bidding of the caliphate. So most of these things we have tried to speak about, try to remind people of the fact that you can deny it all you want, but it's life and well. The agenda to take over Nigeria is in a full swing. You can clearly see, except you are not paying attention or you just want to continue to delude yourself. You know, they've introduced bill through an Igbo senator, one Benjamin Carlo or something, you know, to indigenize everybody. That if you are born in a place, you become an indigene. If you live in a place for 10 years, you become an indigene. So these are no joke. These are serious stuff. And he kind of followed up with the initial arrangement that was put in place by the caliphate from Buhari's time when they embarked on the program to, you know, to bring in all the Fulanis from the sub-region, from the entire Sahel region, to settle them in Nigeria. They tried it in some places, but they found Nigeria the most convenient, you know, place to where it will work. So Buhari opened the border, they all flooded in, and Dangote's truck were used to distribute them all over the territories, all the regions. They occupy all the regions, all the bushes. People keep looking at it as if it's a joke. You can rant all you want, but at the end of the day, these guys are doing the work. They are on the ground. They are doing what they are. So that is just the unfortunate, the sad aspect. And now, with that being done, with that being said, and the whole apparatus put on the ground, they now, through this Benjamin, introduce this bill now, so that will give them the opportunity, the possibility to fully integrate into the Nigerian society. And also there's also no way they will be able to do it without coming from the angle of terrorism to terrorize the indigenous people, sack them, occupy the ancestral land, and they will never come back, send them to IDP camp, and they keep pushing. So that is seriously what is going on. But most of our people, instead of having a united front, you know, speak in one voice to confront this, and rather people are fighting, trying to discredit one another, and rather than focus, you know, to fight the system, but they are busy trying to discredit Ngozi Orebeze. That is the sad part. And but like Brahma just said, yeah, eventually the truth will prevail. It's just a matter of time. So yeah, that is the situation, my brother.
Thank you, my brother, for that contribution you just made. We know the antecedent of the enemies, and we know all their plans. That is why we started on time to delegitimize them. Whatever they do today that has to do with their Nigeria in our territory is not part of us, because Biafra is a sovereign state starting from the 29th of November 2024, and we must continue to hold on that. It's not going to be easy. Just like Master Samarego said, that even after the declaration, it might take some time. It's going to take a lot of time before the full recognition will come. But we must not give in to these nonsense. You can imagine they now want to indigenize everybody wherever you come. But these same people are the ones separating, creating division between you and your own brother. They will make you deny your identity. They will make you deny your nationality. They make you deny your own tribe. They make you deny your own brother. At the same time, they are telling you to accept everybody around you to be indigenous. Those are the criminal act of the Zoological Republic, which is being masterminded by the British. They are the mastermind of all this that is happening, and some of us are not paying attention. That is why everybody has to focus on building our own nation, the United States of Biafra. We must focus our attention there. Whatever they do can never, ever stand, not in our own land, never. Nigeria has no authority over Biafra anymore. They are occupying forces, and when the time is right, they are going to leave our territory, whether they like it or not. Let's hear this message from our Supreme Leader Mazen Nandeka before we proceed.
Side examined. This is the irrefutable fact, and the figures pointing to the fact that Britain is complicit in genocide. If you're wondering why Biafra is not listed as a genocide case, it's because of this very article, as outlined by The Spectator, a British publication on the 26th of December 1968. That is why you can write the list of genocide all over the world. There will be no Biafra. Do you know who excluded Biafra from the list? Britain, because of the role they played. We have this very article here. It is from the Spectator archive. How Britain committed genocide. How Britain you're looking at is actually as bad as Hitler. Nazi party. We have all the proof here. The only reason why the Nazis were held to account was because the Jews were living in Europe. Biafrans are in the darkest West Africa. Nobody gives a damn about them. It is also in the Bible that they will kill you, you will cry, but nobody will come to your rescue. I am reading from Auburn Wall's report on the 26th of December 1968, published in the Spectator newspaper of United Kingdom in Great Britain. That very publication outlined the case of genocide against the British Christianity. You must listen very, very carefully. For as long as any Christian, liberal, or humanitarian tradition survives, the year 1968 will be remembered of implementing one aspect of its peacetime foreign policy. That peacetime foreign policy is one Nigeria. Because the British, they are white people. They created Nigeria. Because a white man created Nigeria, who is a black man to try and break it. The world cleverly forgot that there was no Nigeria before the white man came. There was no Nigeria before the British came. Nigeria was created by a white man, not by African people. Your ancestors did not create one Nigeria. Your forefathers did not create one Nigeria. It was a white man, Betule, that came and created one Nigeria. The British government at the time, under Harold Wilson's Labour Party, wanted to maintain this white supremacist approach. We are white people. How dare you black monkeys from Africa try to break something that we created? As I told you before, as I read yesterday from the scriptures, as Britain was committing genocide in Biafra land, British people did not know about it. Till tomorrow morning, ordinary British people don't know what their government did, because there was a blanket coverage all the way throughout. No independent media. People like The Spectator or the likes of Frederick Forsyth, who we are reporting, nobody was paying attention to them, because BBC decided that we must die. BBC said Biafran people must be killed. How dare you try to stop what we created in Black Africa? Who are you to create Biafra? We are God. Very few people in England have any awareness of the fact that their own country, Britain, was committing atrocity, mass murder in Black Africa. Like most Germans after the war, they will be able to say that they did not know what was being done in their name. British people don't know that their government was killing millions upon millions of people in Biafra land for the sake of the British, ordinary British, so they can be looked upon as God, that they are the creators of everything that they survey. Although photographs of the atrocities being perpetrated in Biafra have appeared in most newspapers, the general impression given by the captions and news coverage is that the children are starving to death as the result of famine brought about by the war. Lies did not begin today. Britain was going about covering their lies. But do you know that the reason why Biafra doesn't come up as a major genocide case is because Britain will be implicated in it. The same way that the world viewed Germans after the whole Nazi debacle is how the world would have viewed Britain. They don't want to be seen as mass killers. So they go about pretending. They go about suppressing the very fact that Biafrans were murdered in their millions. Who killed them? Britain, and go on. Here is irrefutable fact. This very article was written by a white man saying that their country was committing genocide. Britain was committing genocide in Biafra land. Britain is complicit in the death of millions of people in Biafra land, and even their own people know it. BBC will say, oh no, it is people are starving because of famine. We don't suffer from famine in Biafra land. We have rainy season. There is no famine. We have never had any famine in Biafra land before in our history. Never. All of a sudden, there is famine. Not a single newspaper has seen it fit. Even the Spectator was angry. This very white man writing was so upset as to what was happening. Not a single newspaper in England has seen fit to point out that the children are dying as a direct and intended result of a siege which is supported by the British government. When I told you that Britain enforced air, land and sea blockade, is called a siege, you won't believe me, but here it is being confirmed by white people. This is an article written by a white man in a British newspaper as far back as 1968, reminding the British people that you people are here pretending you don't know what is happening. Your government is killing people in Biafra. Biafran people are dying as a direct result of the blockade of Biafra land by the British. It's very clear for the world to see. Very, very clear for the world to see. And they will pay the compensation for this. We are presenting to you this very evening the irrefutable fact and figures that we did not fight Hausa Fulani, they are nobody. We fought the British. The British enforced a very criminal air, land and sea blockade to stop us from getting food and arms during the war. But Britain was writing to Russia, asking Russia to provide arms to go on. Without the British, we will take over Hausa land in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we take it over. It's the British supporting them. And the evidence is here for the whole world to see. Everybody must have a copy of this. Very, very critical and important. So that when you look at Britain, you know that Britain are killers. When you look at the British government, you know that they are murderers. The same way you view Adolf Hitler is how you should view a British government, because they are also killers.
Now you have heard from our super leader, Mazen Nandekan. And when we talk about the enemies we are fighting, how dangerous and how serious it is, some of you do not understand. When we talk about the propaganda and the blackmail against the Biafran people, some of us do not understand. That is why we have to dig out all these old informations for Biafrans who have forgotten to remember where they are coming from and where they are going. This is why it is important and necessary that we must fall back and begin to think of the full restoration of Biafra. Those of you who are running from left to right, who are spending their time on blackmail propaganda, it is high time you call yourself to order. There is only one United States of Biafra that we have, and we must put our hands together to go on to the full restoration of Biafra and the recognition that we desire. It is going to take time. But no matter how long it's going to take, the responsibility lies on us. And it is our effort and what we do that will determine how long it's going to be before we are fully recognized. I pray, and I pray that Biafrans will begin to see things from the right directions, and we shall get the victory. My brother Maxwell, make a contribution on this issue.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. You see, Mazen Namdekano was prepared for this task. And when you listen to him speak, you will discover that this man is filled with the Holy Spirit. There is the kind of spirit, the Holy Spirit that was, making him to alter those things that he was saying. Where was he saying these things? He was saying it on the land of the evil British government. That was where he was saying it. He was not in the zoo. He was not in Finland. He was right there in their domot That was where he was saying it. But after listening to this thing, they knew that what he was saying was right. They could not fight him over there because the world, he will expose them to the world. They could not. They were just praying for him to just step outside their territory. And that was the reason why they had the opportunity to hold him. But I seek solace in the words of God. Everything worketh for good to them that love God. No matter how troubling it might be, it is for the good of those that love God. And I believe in Chukwokike Abiama, the creator of all things. I believe he is my God, and I believe he is the one that is making all these things happen the way it happened, or the way it has happened, and the way it continues to happen today. Britain has done more evil than good, not just in Biafra land, in all their former colonies, including India. I don't know. I read a kind of report from India, what they did to them, and the number of people, the Indians, documented that British were responsible for. In Ethiopia as well, those that they conscripted and took them to, is it the First World War, Second World War? They just finished their case, I think not even up to 3 years ago or 2 years ago. They couldn't pay them. That is Britain for you. Embodiment of evil. I had a meeting, I think you have that video, why they were deliberating. Is it foresight or something like that? They were deliberating on how to unleash evil on the Berlin. What he was saying, that if we don't, the Russia will do. If we don't support, the Russians will. And Russia will have access to the oil and gas, the crude oil. That was what that evil man said. BBC, just like they are doing today, they covered it. What they want their people in England and in the United Kingdom to hear is what they want them to hear. They will not allow them to do that. Till today, BBC is still peddling lies against the Biafran people. BBC. They did not even know today. Those days it was white people. Today it is our own people that they have recruited, people that can speak. Bia, you, Bia, Nana, Kedu. These are the ones that they have recruited now to begin to press us with their lies like they continued before. But they will fail. You see, this redeclaration of Biafra, 29th November 2024, is the antidote. And it is going to kill the United Kingdom gradually. I'm telling you the truth. It is an antidote. It is going to kill the United Kingdom the British gradually. And now, don't worry. They fought us. All the evil. Look, I told you, from my own profession, the only way that you can win a war is by starving the people from communication or information from outside the world and food. That's all. You see, these two things are strategies of war. Once you are able to implement this and implement them perfectly, you have won that war. And that war, no other person gave them. We were making mistake that it was Awolowo. Blockade. If their grandmaster was the United Kingdom, the throne of England as at that time, they were the people responsible for the millions of my uncles, aunties, cousins that lost their life in that brutal war. Until today, Britain has covered it. They don't want it to come out. Anywhere you take them to, anywhere you take their complaint to, they will finish it. They will try to see everywhere, wherever they see someone is growing up, coming up, springing up, to begin to raise their wickedness and their evil. They will go after that person. The same thing they did. They influenced Finland. They influenced SAD. They influenced the government of Finland in order to check Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. Master Chiefs. You see, for most of us that were in active service, we will tell you, it is not just through guns or bullets that you will kill or you will destroy a people. Policy, one single policy. And one of them was the blockade. Blockade. And the reason why they got us the way they got us was that our people from the riverine areas, majority of them were not with us. That was just the problem. That was just the problem. I told you that our Tabaroni, people that fought the war from Taraba State, my platoon sergeant that trained me in the army, told me that Igbo people were very, very tough, if not the support that was given to the Nigerian government. He said that war wouldn't have lasted for 3 months because of the way the Biafrans were moving. In the military, there were plenty. There had a substantial, Biafra military in the Nigerian army at that time, with posts, people that merited and were occupying those positions. They systematically used the revenge coup, the counter coup, to slaughter those that survived, then begin to run back to the old eastern region of Biafra land. That is what our people went through. And anybody that will read all these things and come back again and begin to challenge the process, the conveyor belt that is already moving, that person is nailing Biafra for the second time onto the cross. Let me use that analogy. You are killing Biafrans for the second time. The only thing we would do, since we have understood where our problem is coming from, is to come together, both the riverine areas and the entire old Biafra, as at that time, old eastern region, come together. If you don't come together, these people will deal with all of you. I'm telling you the truth. These people will deal with all of you. They will continue with their divide and rule tactics, just like the Britain taught them. And they will deal with the reason why that Biafra land is intact. They are trying, but they're not winning, is because of the majority Igbo-speaking Biafrans in that very place. And once, God forbid, they are overrun. You in the Biafra land, you call yourself minority. That the reason why they are fighting, coming to take you, including in Biafra, is because of your oil. Forgotten that what is leading the world today is not natural resources. You will be a walk in the park. I keep repeating this. You will be a walk in the park. You will be a walk in the park. As I read document that has been boasting, Iken Kanulo. Okay, how did the Igbo people say it? Iken Kanulo, but okay, Nama. He is always strong in the house. When it comes to his own brothers and sisters, he shared DNA with. But he cannot be strong and boisterous to the enemies that have come. Today, he is crying. They've been firing since the morning, 3 a.m. till dawn. Now it has calmed down. They have brought their aircraft, their helicopter over my head. I know you. I know you when you are there. That is what you do. But if it is your brother, Igbos, you begin to raise weapons against them and threaten how you are killing them boasting how you are buying them with the support of the criminal governors you have in Southeast. They will come after you. They will come after you. By the time they succeed in dividing you, they will come after you. Now they are coming after you. You are crying. For you now to fight for Fubara, it is now that you have realized that Fubara is not one of your own. But even if Fubara is not one of your own, he is still an Ugwacha man. He is still your own brother. The same state, with the way Nigeria has formed the zoo, the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. He's still your brother. You are there. The same brother. You are denying him. Before the cock crows, even oneself, you denied your own brother because you want favor from your master, your paymaster, Tinubu, thief. Thieves. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my beloved brother. I appreciate you. And to support that very statement of Mazin Nandekano that he just made, I'm going to play this video. Everyone should pay attention to this very video, and you will see where this argument we are being made about the atrocities the British are committing in Biafra land, just like you said in the explanation of Mazin Nandekano, that some of the citizens of the UK did not even know what was going on. Some of them didn't know what was going on. And that was why in one of the broadcasts, Mazin Nandekano said, when it comes to the citizens of that very country individually, there are many wonderful people out there. But when it comes to their government itself, you are looking to something worse than Hitler.
And the throne, it is the throne of England, the throne, that is where the evil is being committed. The throne. The prime minister is under the throne. Have you forgotten?
Yeah.
All of them are subjects. You know, they are subjects of the throne. They are all subjects. There is nothing they would do. There are ordinary British people who don't believe in what they did, but they try one way or the other to seal it and hid it from them. But one way or the other, they look at them. Biafrans, look at the ones you see there were Biafrans. These ones are Biafrans. Is it not one of us, as a Kopabi, that went there and conducted a press telling them, these same people, British that are marching, the ordinary British that are marching for Biafra, exposing the evil of their government? Is it not the same person that went there and told them that there is no genocide committed against the Biafran people? Aseko Pabi. Is he not part of Biafra? Is he not a Biafra? That is what some of them are doing today. That is why when you see me speak, Master Jukes, remember, don't trust me. I trust myself. And by the special grace of Tuko Kikabiama that brought me into this struggle with love, will always protect me and make me speak and stand strong till Biafra comes. I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody. I will do my own as God has given me the power. Let God do the rest. But when you are keeping hope on human beings, they will fail you. If someone told you after the declaration that what is happening today will happen, will you believe it? These are the same people that will tell you, when they will sing praises for Master Simon Ekpa, not knowing that those praises is just resting on their lips. It is not in the heart. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Biafrans, please listen to this very video as we play it. I'm going to allow you to play from the beginning so that we can be able to catch up with what the content you're going to see at the end of it. The discussion was made how Biafra Biafran people try as much as they can to make their voice. Why we are doing what we are doing today? Because then then we didn't have social media like we have today. There was no social media. What you could do is the protest you are seeing there. That's the only thing they could do. But it could reach to little or no people, and you will see how they were blockaded and how the British laid their plan for their own selfish interests. And they continue to do that up to this moment as we speak. They are still doing it. Let's listen.
Last summer, the British government's policy of continuing to supply arms to the Nigerian federal government was attacked in demonstrations in Britain and abroad. In London, Biafran supporters clashed with the police in Trafalgar Square and Whitehall. Britain was branded with being an accomplice in genocide. At Basel in Switzerland, a British trade week was cancelled, and later in Bonn, Mr. Wilson, on an official visit, was mobbed by protesting students. The Biafran lobby in London was able to secure an emergency debate in both Houses of Parliament. It ended in uproar. Mark Press reprinted the whole of the Nigerian debate in a booklet with added comments in the margin. Comments which drew parallels with Hitler, Himmler and Stalin.
There were protests throughout Africa. Britain was seen as helping the Nigerian government to pursue a policy of genocide. The scandal also split opinion in Britain.
Should we stop sending arms to Nigeria? Whether this would have any effect or not, should we stop sending them now?
Yes.
Hugh Fraser.
To my mind, it's a very simple, and the answer is yes. The alternative is, as proposed by people like Woodrow Wyatt, an MP in the Times today, to keep up with the Russians. This is morally absolutely intolerable. It's politically inept. Your policy is losing out. You're making a fool of ourselves throughout the world. The people are regarding this country with moral obloquy. It's not this medical, the policy has failed.
If we don't supply arms to the Nigerian government, the Russians are going to go on doing it. The Russians have told the Nigerian government that whatever happens, they're going to see them through to victory. Well, is it wise that we should allow the whole of this vast area, with 52 million people in it, with more oil in it than Kuwait, to fall into the hands of the Russians? I mean, it's absolutely crazy.
The federal government won, helped by the British arms. But the resulting scandal...
I hope you had that. It is very clear.
Well, Mazichu, sorry, what did he say? They said 52 million with the oil reserve twice that of Kuwait. Is that what he said?
Yes.
52 million.
It is just about the oil, just about the resources. They don't
care
about
now,
the human.
If we were 52 million in that region that time, what would be our population today? Minus those that died during the war.
Oh God. Ask me.
This is the reason why someone would tell you that the north, where there are no light, there are no waters, is more populated than the Biafra land that has life, that has water. 52 million as at that time. 1960. This meeting happened before the war.
You're breaking up, Max. You're breaking up. Your network is breaking up. We can't hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Is it okay now?
Better.
I don't know what happened, but okay. 52 million. Oil well, twice that of Kuwait. And the reason why you issue munitions, bombs, jet bombers to go and slaughter these people. How? Where is our God? Innocent people, women and children, those that were pregnant as at that time, those that never even opened eyes, we survived because our mothers ran out.
senselessly slaughtered them. The throne of England presided over the evil, the heinous crime that was committed against the Biafran people, simply because you were protecting your economic interest, which is crude oil and gas. If not that there are still British people who openly came out to support the Biafrans, I could have laid a blanket curse on them. But I will go on what Mazen Nambekane said. Mazen Nambekane said, see, Britain, United Kingdom, if you don't remove hand in Nigerian issue, what will happen to you? He said Islam will take you over. Mazen, just carry on.
Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate you for that contribution. Bro Christian, are you there? Is Bro Christian free? I think he's busy at work. So if he's not there, let's hear from Akoya with it. Let's hear from you. Go ahead and talk to us.
Yes, Shooks. Good afternoon.
You're welcome, bro.
My greetings to Uncle Mas also. Fine, sir. The thing is that when you look at what is going on in Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger, you will see that Africa is a kind of waking up. Joshua Maponga, Malema, they are doing their part. But the people before us, they did not read the handwriting on the wall. When you take a study of 1967 war, when you make Nnamdi Azikiwe and his colleagues a case study, and you take it back to Kwame Nkrumah, you will see the ideal philosophy they worked with. They were looking, let me say, they jumped kindergarten stage and they rolled themselves into standard 1. And before Africa will catch up with the whole story of how the West analyzes us, Africa will have to redisintegrate themselves along tribal lines, people with the same core value. Those are things that Kwame Nkrumah, Nnamdi Azikiwe, count them, did not envisage when they were pushing for Africa to come together as one. So that is the work our own generation need to do. Because when you look at the Western world, when you study Europe, Britain, Asia, you will see that they've succeeded in dividing along their tribal line. So they are now pushing for unity. After the Second World War, all those countries that sprang up, they were able to divide themselves according to how they originated. They are now pushing for unity, for them to come together. But what they played, the card they played in Africa, what that will spark the card again, that will spark that, is this dilly-dallying they are doing with Russia and Ukraine. And I praise every day that they will make the wrong step about Russia with Ukraine.
They are about to do it, and we are praying that they will do it. Now they have organized to send troops. They've agreed. It is UK, Starmer, and the Macron that is leading it. They are now trying to send troops to Ukraine, and that will anger Russia. Thank you. They want to drag Trump into it, but Trump
will not.
It's using his wisdom. Thank you.
And that is what me I pray. When I take study of all these things, I pray that this their dilly-dallying with Ukraine, they should make that mistake. That is how we are going to pay. As in Britain, we eat from that pot they cooked for the whole of Africa. You bring it that home. Our people, every day that we come here, I will praise Uncle Chooks. I will praise all of us. Our people that are championing for Biafra, majority of us have not understand the meaning of Biafra. When our leader said Biafra will be the last miracle, the promised land, the last miracle on earth, they have not understand for themselves what our leader meant by that, or even what Biafra means. I've taken inventory of that war, though I was born many years after the war. But I've taken my time to study the war the little way I can, study what prompted the British to lash on our people, kill our people like that. And I saw pure hatred. Go to your nation today. They are gathering, saying that they want to be on their own. When you see them, you still see that the same identity crisis that we are witnessing amongst ourselves. This morning on Okute Daily Talk, I didn't even know that the mark we are making here is hitting the camps of Ogenkere. On his talk, I saw the one called Van and the people that joined him when they were ranting. Because ever since last year, I unsubscribed myself from their channel and I don't even care checking on them what they are saying. But when I saw this, that's the one that Okute played, I was seeing foolishness in him. That Adado Rama is making mess of herself. You are calling it a win that God is working with you people. That you derail completely from the course, the general course of the quest for Biafra, and now turn to wasting your energy, your effort, and everything on a woman, and you see it as a victory that you have achieved. My brothers and sisters, I praise every day that these messages, all this analysis that you run through every day, get as far as it could now to people to know that Britain, they do not mean well for us. The entirety of West, they do not mean well for us. They have made Africa their resort where they come to play games. And they've succeeded in making it possible. As at then, they knew that what they have in Biafra land is more than what they have in the entirety of Europe, all the mineral resources that God blessed them. And they tried as they could to see that they dash us, they quench us, but God did not allow it. After the war, the next agenda is to tell Gowon to make sure he partition us and they remove history. So in my closing remark, I will tell our brothers and sisters, you know, some people will come up with the idea, let's go for the 5 states. Let me tell you people today, the mineral resources that God deposit in Igbo land will cater for us till the world end. the natural mineral resources that are in Ebonyi State that have not come to light is bigger than the oil in the creek. You go to Anambra, the same thing. You go to Imo State, Abia, the same thing. So my brothers and sisters that are listening to us, the topic today talked about nation building. All this fracas that they're having online, it's not helping us at all. It's making us look stupid. Let all the media people, more media people that will come, let them do more of this exposition. This should be the work of the media people. Leave the other work for our leaders to do the raising of memo, document sending. Let our media men turn and be doing like Uncle Chooks. Let us flood the media space with informations of who we are, what attracted the hatred that Africans have, and how we will unite ourselves and get ourselves out of this cage. Because provided we are in confusion, we are in loggerhead with each other, that is the oxygen that is sustaining the West. And they are very happy because they know that the trigger is Biafra. That is why they are pumping in money through their agents to see that they destabilize people that talks of our freedom. My brothers and sisters, let us not be used. Let us quit letting the West to be using us. Finland today lay hand on Simon Ekpa, put him in solitary confinement, and they are the one on the forefront of pushing for the freedom of Ukraine. And you tell me that Eze kere ụwa, okike kere ụwa, agaghị akpọ ha ọkụ. Ọ ga-akpọ ha ọkụ, mana ọ na-eche ka anyị bụ ndị eji maka ya eme ihe a na-eme ka anyị ghọta onwe anyị. Because it was up until the day the Israelites, according to the Bible story, knew that it dawned on them that they are suffering in Egypt. And Moses came and discovered their pain, that their liberation started happening. But today, many are still confused. Many it has not come on them to know the pain we are facing. That is why the Lord is still overlooking our effort. But if we can come together today and discover that the West, the entirety of West, all the Caucasians, that they do not mean well for Africa and they will never want Africa to come together, we will now know what is the tricks that they use. The trick they use is this cut and join. You see, my brother, Uncle Mas, says that some of Burkina Faso are in Ghana. Some of the Ghanaians are in Burkina Faso. That is how the splinters come to Igbo land. Some of the Igbo that are still speaking the tongue of Igbo, this general Igbo that we do communicate here, some are in Delta. They've succeeded in letting them know that they are not part of us across the Niger. The Ikwere people, they've succeeded in letting them know that they are not part of the Igbos. But in your tongue, the similarity is obvious that we are one. Let's not talk about the jaw that their tongue have changed completely. Now, if we know that we will come and recollect ourselves according to our tribes, split according to that tribe, that is when the genuinity of us will come. Any of our leader that will be leading each of the tribe as a country will see the need to help his people. Otherwise, the leaders we have in every African country today, we keep seeing that country as a business center. He keeps seeing the country as what he will not be able to make.
My brother Akonyo with just 1 minute before you round up on your line of thoughts, before you round up, let me play a message from our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, to support what our brother Akonyo was saying. And I have said it, and I always play this video most of the time, but I want to play it once more for those who are just joining or those who are just coming along. When we are talking about aligning ourselves, building a nation along tribal lines. Let's just listen to this message.
Is the question. Why is it that the Europeans are afraid of other countries within Africa, may follow up the breakup of Nigeria, and they would want to break up and form their own country? I want you people to ask yourself, why are they thinking like this? Because I have come across a lot of arguments where somebody will say, okay, they want to maintain Nigeria so that, because they are afraid. According to them, during the 1967-1970 Biafra, the issue was that if Biafra, succeeded in breaking away from Nigeria, other African countries will want to follow suit. Now, I ask again, why are they afraid of that? My people, it is not about natural resources. Some people say they are afraid to lose natural resources. It is not afraid to lose natural resources. No. Of course, business is part of it. Business is part of it, which natural resources is also one of the factors. But this is not the issue. The issue here is not about the natural resources. Because anyhow, they are still going to have access to these natural resources. Somehow, they are going to have access to it. But it is not about natural resources. Well, so when natural resources is one compelling factor, but we should go beyond natural resources. It is time we begin to think beyond natural resources. It is not about natural resources. They are afraid of the economic power that will come from Africa when Africa divide along tribal line. Because you see, they know, they are afraid for you to know what they know. So it is not about natural resources. If you are thinking that it is because of natural resources, my brother, somehow you are right, but you are not right completely. You are getting the main point very wrong. The point here is that they are afraid of you adopting the system that made them what they are today. And what is that system? Dividing your country along tribal line. And that is what we want to do.
That was the message of our Prime Minister back then, very long time ago. This issue of dividing ourselves along tribal line is a very important fact that cannot be denied. It doesn't matter who you are. Just like my brother said, this is where some of them today who are pushing for Pan-Africa and whatever, this is where one of them, most of them are getting it wrong. You must sort out this problem of division along tribal line before we get into the Pan-Africanism. Go ahead, my beloved brother. Akonyo with a roundup just within 1 or 2 minutes.
I have two things to say and round up. That is it, my brother. You go to South Africa and Zimbabwe, some people, the greater chunk of their tribe are in Zimbabwe, and minority of them are in South Africa. Do they have voice? They do not have voice. That is something that's happening in Igbo land. They've been able to make it. People that we sent to go and represent us in the national level, they will be able to build some group. Because when they come back, when they get there, how their mind corrupts that when you get there, you see the game that the system is playing, the sound that the system is playing. You are not a fool. That's how human beings are made. We are told that change is always constant. When the person gets there, you see that this fight is not your fight. But because of the cake that is coming there, you now come back and build your own group that will be supporting you. You'll be telling them that we have to get this, we have to get this. That is why you see anybody that his brother succeed in getting federal work or state work, the tone that the person is using will change. The person will start dancing to the support of that his brother. Just as Tinubu today, all the Yorubas, they are limiting their word. Look at what Wole Soyinka said, because he is from their section of the country. But if there should be a Yoruba nation, that they will have to pull all the people that are from Yoruba in all the places they are in Nigeria, there will be no option again to let a loser be their leader, because it will be playing upon them. They will be losing. When they turn, they will see the Igbo doing well. The competition will be there, but there's no competition now. There's no competition. Yesterday, all the intellectuals from our side still form a walkout because they are pushing for Mosu to be immortalized. Look at what Oshomole said. Thank God that Mosu granted interview with Sahara Reporter. Is it 12 years ago or even almost 10 years ago with the what is his name? The reason why he did not declare it publicly that Abiola won. They say that he's not man enough. Is that the kind of country? The internet they have heated up the internet. Yorubas are telling Igbo that go to hell. Why would they immortalize Mosu? And if you ask them, they say they want us to be in the same country. If ask all those fools that staged a walkout yesterday, they say they want to make Nigeria great.
Nonsense.
My dear brothers and sisters, I know some of you people own a company. I have run one before economy of Nigeria collapsed. And right from time, I'm somebody that likes to read. One thing I discover about a manager or owner of a company, if you want to be at the top of all your workers, you will make sure that they are not in good terms with each other. But any company or anybody that runs a company that let his workers, even if you are running a company of 5 workers, you have 5 employees, and all of them, the 5 of them are in good terms, they will be controlling you. But if you succeed as a good strategist and make all of them, maybe 3 to be going against 2, you will be riding them. That is what the West is using on us. And up until we all realize, as na la din enebido n'ụlọ dị na mma pụwa n'ama ka anyị nwala azọ Biafra, ọ bụ na every other person ga-amata na aka enemi ya abụghị nwanne gị. Even Fulani, I'll keep saying it. You know, when Ngozi say it, they will say, look at her. If we get Biafra today, Fulani will not have any God to attack us. Where would they pass and get to in our country to attack us? They still have the right because there's no impedance on their way. We are still in one Nigeria. Our own brother now is raising a bill that will make anybody that have lived in any part of Nigeria 10 years to become a citizen of that place. My brothers and sisters, if we want to get this Biafra done, let all the people that are on media make a greater research.
We've gotten it, not if, we've gotten it.
Yes. And that is what I'm saying about Biafra.
We will get to the final level. It's a process. Go ahead, my brother.
That is the little thing we will do. Media, I this savvy as you are. I still off my cap for you. Your way of analysis is still superb. None, as in, there's nobody that can match you up. Keep it up. Keep it up. I know that whatever we are saying today, it will definitely get to people. And when people will see your works, it will prick their conscience and make them to think more deeply and understand the intentions of the West. against us. Looking at Nigeria, Nigeria will destroy itself. But the reason why God is still delaying it, we that are chanting for Biafra, we are not all that much prepared. Because if Nigeria should scatter today, they will turn the war on our people. All these little divisions, it will make our place to be porous. And that is why God is not letting it, the spirit that is supposed to be, to happen. Because when we are much united under the umbrella of Simon, you see the destruction and distraction in Nigeria, the spirit was going on. But because they have taken Simon away, God do not want the calamity to befall on us again. And let them listen very carefully today and know, the earlier they unite, the earlier the followers understand the meaning of Biafra, that's the earlier they will control and know who mean well for them. The same identity crisis that we are suffering in Nigeria, people, the followers not knowing their stand, the leaders not knowing their stand, that the same ideology that they've carried into Biafran quest. Let our people today hear us. Let the followers hear us. Put down your egos. Know that divide and conquer has been the tenet of the British. That is the weapon they've been using on us. The more we divide ourselves, the more they conquer us. Thank you, my brother, and keep your good work.
Thank you so much, my beloved brother. I appreciate you for that very line of thought. And my fellow Biafrans that are watching, wherever you are watching from, remember it is time for nation building. Every one of us should know that. Biafra is no longer a wish. It's not ever a wishful thinking. Those who says it's something of the mind. I don't see Biafra as they interpret it to be something of the mind. They tell it is a wish or is a dream. Biafra is a reality. Remember, Biafra is a country that have existed before, lasted for 3 good years, fought war. More than 5 million people lost their life. And Biafra continues to exist in our hearts until we have decided that we are taking it back our land. And at that point, every one of us came together and we brought back the mandate. We gave the mandate to Biafran government to go ahead and redeclare Biafra. What we are supposed to do today is to pursue the recognition, the full restoration of Biafra. It is a process. Don't forget, Mazen Simon Ekpa made it clear that it might take time. But time is going to take, depends on you. It depends on your action today. It depends on what you do. That will determine how long it's going to take. It is going to take time. But what will determine how long it will take is what you do today, or what you intend to do, or how you are supporting. Every single one of us, we have given that mandate. That is why I came out today to remind you that we have to embark on nation building, and to remind you that there was an agreement that all of us reached. Master Simon Ekpa did not just come to talk about declaration. Dr. Ngozi Orabueze did not just wake up from sleep to go to Finland on that day, on the 29th of August, and make that declaration on behalf of the Prime Minister, Master Simon Ekpa. This was what you and I signed up. The vote that you casted, this is what was written on that vote. Do you approve this proposed declaration of the restoration of the independent state of Biafra, to re-establish of lost sovereign nation of Biafra from Nigeria, which will be called the United States of Biafra, USB? And they say yes or no. More than 50 million people said yes. More than 50 million people said yes. And more than 1,000 people were in Finland to make this declaration on our behalf. Today, somebody is telling you to fight against that same thing you have spoken about. Fight against the same mandate you yourself gave. And you want me to beg you or explain more. Before you speak or go to any platform or interact with anybody, please go and read that very form you used to cast the vote. That is why I brought that form out today. Read it. After reading it, then you decide where to stand or where to listen to or whom to follow. This will be your guide. Except you didn't vote. Even if you voted no, majority carried the vote. And we know that more than 50 million people voted yes. And for you to go against the United States of Biafra, you must have more than 50 million votes. Wherever you are as a Biafran, the only thing we should be doing today is to embark on nation building. Think of what you are going to do to support the United States of Biafra. More especially financially, just like my brother Max said here, tax is one of the things that helps to build a nation. Tax is one of the things that helps to build a nation. So wherever you know your hand is, please put your money where your mouth is. And I bet you, at the end of the day, you'll be glad you did. My beloved brother Okemwa, you're welcome. Thank you for joining. Go ahead.
Thank you, my brother. First of all, sorry, I missed greeting my Mwanwa yesterday.
Yeah.
Sam Maxwell, my beloved brother. You see, we thank God. I still want to tell us that we have to be grateful to God Almighty. You see, when God wants to do things, he will go for the tools, for the instruments. And I was having a discussion with somebody from let's not pretend from Ogenkere group. Let me just use that word.
Yeah.
You know, I asked him some question. I thank God for this thing you brought up now. I asked him, okay, he is telling you about Briggy. Do you understand the meaning of Briggy? Biafra Republic government in exile. Then, do you know the process of Briggy before going to Finland? He said yes. That after referendum, they went there to get a document for recognition. I said, that is beautiful. So that document, you say you know the meaning of Briggy, Biafran government
in exile.
Fine. Then this government in exile gathered, conducted a referendum. Do you know the meaning of referendum? Yes, referendum. You know, when they want to respond, they don't even know that they are, sometimes they don't even think before they respond. They say, yes, the referendum is, let us all vote, and we voted, and at the end of the day, more than 50 million Biafrans agree that we should have our own independence. I said, okay, that was very good. We call it self-referendum, meaning that we conducted it our own. And we agree that we are going to Finland to declare. I told him, please, I will ask one of the media to bring out where PM Mazi Simon Epa conducted a vote among the cabinet to determine the name of our country. They voted. I know everybody brought out different names, and when they voted, it was USB, United States of Biafra. Please, my brother, if you people can dig into that that video and get that video where the cabinet voted, then you will listen to what PM said there. That will clear everything and make it public. Because the Biafrans voted, there were a lot of bills they voted, even on Biafran radio, and all. That day was a very rich day. So, my brother, if you can bring it out, I told him, do you remember that there was a vote by the cabinet members, including Ogenkere, Sonia Barawa, and this, and they were all in that when that was voted, and they all agreed that it is going to be called United States of Biafra. He said, are you sure of what you're saying? I said, yes, I'm very, very sure that you are going to see it on internet very, very soon. I said, most of you are just following because this person is my person. So you are not even well informed of what is happening. So I told him that he said that after voting we have a name. Then after the declaration, the Biafra Republic government in exile will be in operation with the name voted as United States of Biafra, and everybody rejoiced. Then when this declaration was made, you people are just envious because it was the DPMCOS that made this declaration. That's the only issue. Then another issue is that DOS-IPOB, they threatened that declaration will not hold, and they made move. They made move. We should not act as if we don't know that they are also instrumental to what happened to our PM, because Finland is looking into, since Biafrans are the ones making this thing, and they had to do that to stop us from that declaration. They were surprised. Their agents among the cabinet. You see, what we should know is that even in the war front, even in the military, whenever you are moving as battalion, in that battalion, don't think that everybody who is respecting yes sir, is respecting the commander. No, there are people who the enemies are using as spies. I don't want to go far. Please, my own request today, brother, if you can go deep and get that video, that cabinet meeting where they voted USB and the statement of PM in that district, so that most of them, because I think that most of them are not really educated on what is happening. That's my submission. Please, you want to say anything, sir? Thank you. You are muted.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that wonderful contribution, and I will put a request on that and make sure I will try to get that video and also use it to educate Biafrans. It is so sad. It is so sad. Even with this form alone, I don't know why somebody could see this form. Does it mean that some of them they don't read the form before they begin to cast their vote?
No, they didn't read it. They didn't read it. They are not informed. That's the problem.
I can't just understand. They did not read the content. Where it was spelled out completely there. Look at it in the form there. It was written boldly. Very, very bold. It was written as the last statement you see there.
Excuse me, sir. There's one other question I asked that man. I asked him, when Ogenkere you feel that is the acting PM, when he wanted to declare sit at home, the proposed failed sit at home you people declared, why didn't he declare all this himself? What's stopping him from making the declaration? He said that because he has a lot of cabinet members that he must not now he used the commander on ground. I said, let me tell you why he did not make that declaration himself. He knows that people he is working for will go after him. He doesn't want to indict himself. He wants to indict you who is following him. That is the only reason. He wants to indict you because his mission is make sure that this thing is not moving forward. And I have my proof. As I'm talking to you, I know all of them, even on ground. They know that I know all of them, even on ground. Even the day I went to Baltimore, I don't want to say anything because that one is not relevant to what we are doing.
Yeah.
Somebody, there was after our program with Sister Linda, something happened. That's why I was not in the picture all this while. Do you know, Biafrans, that's another thing I want to tell you, brother, please. This is security information. Biafrans who are calling into Adadio Rama's program, who are calling into Rafael Ajere's program, who are calling into these people's program, please, your identity should not be revealed to them. What I'm trying to tell you now is a first-hand information. Whenever you are discussing with them, is either you look for a way to either change your voice. Don't use your first idea. Don't use your right contact phone number to call any of them. I know what I'm saying. In a couple of months, it might not be up to a month. You see some people who are falling victim into these people's hands. There are a lot of things going, because what GOS was doing then, when you call Radio Biafra and you sound like you are very real, they will sell your information to their masters. And one thing their masters want to know, they say that they are identifying the sponsors of. So please, when you are calling into these people's program, be very, very careful. It's safer to use the link than to use your phone number to call them. Thank you very much. That's what I want to say.
Thank you so much, my beloved brother. I appreciate you. Okay, well, thank you for that information. And I hope that Biafrans are listening and they are learning. It is very important. That is why we are here. Bro Max, you're back. Our brother Okemwa was asking of you. And when he came in, you're out. And now you are in and he's out.
I don't know the reason why Mazu Okemwa is, we are doing Ghana people say it be kwani.
Yeah. When you came in, you went out. Now he's out.
Anyway, one day, Monkey go market, you know, go return.
Oh, he's back.
Okay. Hey, Mazu Okemwa na motion.
Na mukudewo.
Dewo no timere.
I wouldn't I know na elu mmiri because ndị Namuku here I know elu mmiri mbobara.
I see.
Don't worry, okwe gba Biafrans ga-ama na anyị nwere mmadụ.
Eziokwu.
I know elu mmiri.
Asị ma jụrụ ịgbala anyị alụrụ a divorce ala anyị.
No.
Where want to go?
No, a lot of mmadụ na-ahapụ gaa na agụmakwụkwọ. It doesn't matter. It cannot happen.
It cannot happen. Nwafọ amụchiri ike.
One of my boys they set it up. So they wanted him to indict me because of my job. Onye kanji gwa Biafra when reveal they didn't want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to know that Mazi Simon Ekpa was operating until Soludo went to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in a prison. So I got there. One of my boys, my friend, let me use my friend, who is very, very close there. He told me that immediately Soludo came and was reporting that, have you seen what Mazi Simon Ekpa is doing? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu didn't want to hear any other thing, provided he has mentioned that his boy, his son is operating. He said, now my spirit, my soul can rest. Even if they want to do anything, let them do it. And he told me that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started, in fact, he will stand up sometime, he will be talking to the wall. He will stand up and he became very, very happy. So when he told me this thing, because he's my boy, he's from the northern part of Nigeria. So when he told me this thing, I called on the program. I think it was Mazugo 247 or somebody I revealed that into. And they immediately they knew that he was the person on duty that day. They removed him from DSS and detained him in Adamawa. So there he was, because there at least, that's why I told you that it's not only Biafrans listening to your program. Yes, all of them are listening to your program.
You're right.
They know who is genuine. That is what I'm meant. So my brother won't number also, but I know they Thank you. I am very, very proud of you. I'm very, very proud of you. I'm very, very proud of you.
Can you hear me?
Oh,
What did I
God.
do?
I am very, very, very proud of you. When one of our brothers, in fact, of Aguamasi and I get nationalized here in Alibo. Oh, he's from Ghana too. Anytime when I get my medicine, only one day in a coconut program, I say, listen to my brother. Yeah, say, wow. What the meaning of your name because it's from Ghana. Let me not take your time. I have a good rapport with them.
I see.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you, my beloved brother. I appreciate you.
I am Mazi Chicks. I'm so happy, and I give God the glory that He is well and fine. May God continue to hold him. You know, the time when we were in a Linda TV show, you know, there is something I said that there is no way when you keep maltreating your housemaid, your children will develop love for that housemaid. I said this in several. You know, during our time in some of the security outfits interrogation that we had in those days, there is a way. I don't know whether it is me alone. If I interrogate you today, tomorrow, the next day, the spirit, it is ingrained in us. You know, the spirit I have for you that time will begin to soften. That is how it is. And that is the reason why they don't keep you in one location for more than 6 months. Once you begin to fraternize with the people you are suspected to be fraternizing with, the accused, they will change you immediately. So that is what they do. They will change the entire detail. We call them guard detail. They change it. So that is what they do. You see, and there is no how information will not be reaching Mazen Nambekano where he is at that particular place. You see, I told you one time when even before, like one said, even before Soludo went there, I told you that anytime they brought Mazen Nambekano out from the court, Mazen Nambekano will have some time to speak to the press. Why would Mazen Nambekano not use 1 minute to speak evil or condemn Simon Ekpa? Hey, my people, if Mazen Nambekano is not happy with what Simon Ekpa is doing, this one is not the same campaign, smear, campaign of calumny. That is what I call it, propaganda.
Exactly.
That is what they are using it in order to dissuade you from doing this man. And do you know what this guy told Mazen Nambekano in prison? We will hear them when Mazen Nambekano comes out. The one that died, Ifeanyi Ubah visited, and this Soludo, and the rest of them. We will hear them in detail when, by the grace of God, Mazen Nambekano will be released.
Definitely.
They use the same tactics they used on Owazirike.